Welcome to my very, 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 very late review of WWE Smackdown. So basically, this is something that I'm going to be doing. Hopefully, he says, dropping a load of stuff down his couch. Hopefully, this is something I'm going to be doing every sort of Saturday night, or as many Saturdays as I can do, because basically, a bit of background. Long story short, subscribers will know, obviously, I have a lovely little boy, but basically, his mother goes to work on a Saturday morning, and SmackDown does not finish until like 3, sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning. And if I wanted to do a wrap up show, basically, I would have to survive on about 1.5 hours sleep before he woke up. So, yes, I've not always been able to do SmackDown for that reason. I've done vlogs in the past, I've done shorts in the past, and I was always just like, oh, I really wish I could cover this. So, basically, that's what the genesis is. I'm gonna start doing basic SmackDown as much as I can do on Saturday night, where and wherever I can. Obviously, if these boys are playing, or if I've got something on, I may have to move dates and try and do something a little bit later. But yeah, I'm going to try and start doing the SmackDown review on Saturday night, basically because I have a hyperactive 12-year-old son. So that's the reason I'm doing it so late. So like I put in the headline, that was mental last night, absolutely mental. We not only got Brock Lesnar turning up, we also got CM Punk in Chicago, and then we also got his brilliant, absolutely fantastic wife, AJ Lee. So those of you who may be a bit younger, basically AJ, my favourite wrestlers back in the day, I absolutely loved her. She was just so good, so sarcastic. The line about the Chuck Taylors, brilliant. She wasn't like a diva. I mean, obviously she competed for the Divas Championship back in the day, but she was so anti-diva. It was unreal. So I really loved AJ Lee back in the day. So to see her back last night was, honestly, I was absolutely just, it was brilliant. Absolutely loved it. It was fantastic. So yeah, it was great to see her back in the ring. And yeah, let's go for it. So let's have a look. Oh, thank you, Malaysia, Joha. Cheers. Nice one. So yeah, as always, if you're wondering why does Bro keep looking to his left-hand side, I'm looking at these lovely notes basically. So yeah, here we go. So SmackDown came from the Allstate Arena last night in Chicago. First things first, it was a bit weird. Michael Cole and Corey Graves were on commentary, and I thought to themselves, oh, it's just going to be for a week or whatever. But then they actually said it's going to be Graves and Cole for the next couple of months. Now, I don't want to speculate, but obviously Wade Barrett had that little bit of an altercation, not really an altercation, but a social media altercation with Nikki Bella, because he said something rude. I don't think it was too rude or disparaging, but basically Nikki was best pleased about what was said. So I don't know if it's got anything to do with that, but I also don't know why Joe Tess has been moved from comms. Personally, I've really enjoyed Joe Tess since he's come in, so I don't know what's happened there or why Cole and Graves are actually on SmackDown. I don't know if McAfee's going to come back or whatever. But yeah, it was really odd, to be honest. So I don't know what that's all about. I guess we'll see soon enough. So the show opened up obviously with John Cena's promo. Very good as per usual. Got the crowd pumped up. And then basically it's his last SmackDown. Crowd's really into it, which is really ironic because obviously he got booed out of the building back in the day in the Allstate Arena because the crowd hated Cena because obviously they're also Team CM Punk. But the ovation he got was, even me as not a massive John Cena fan, obviously I respect him a lot after everything he's done in the business, and credit to him. But there are a lot of people who used to hate Cena back in the day, but they gave him a standing ovation. Now, the first thing I wanted to talk about and I don't know if anyone, I'll have a look at the comments in a sec. I don't know if anyone knows if there is some sort of past incident with Chicago and Sami Zayn. And you probably know what I'm going to talk about here, but John Cena's doing his promo. He's about to leave. All of a sudden, Sami Zayn's music hits, and at first people were like cheering and stuff. And I thought, oh, that'd be nice to see Sami and this, that, and the other. But then he gets into the ring, and the whole ring starts booing him. And he actually looked, fair play to Sami, he kept really professional. He looked, you could tell he was at the start, he was a bit like, oh, what's going on here? But he kind of pivoted and then sort of praised Cena and got the crowd back on side kind of thing. And I thought, oh, well, it's just Chicago being a bit mischievous as they are with some of the faces every now and again. But Sammy's kind of like one of us from back in the day. He was one of the original independents. Obviously, he was El Generico back in the day, and a lot of people used to love him. So I and he got booed with the entire match because obviously he then went on to challenge Cena, put up the United States title in order to have the match. But I, I don't know if I would go as far as disrespectful, and I know the crowd are just having a good time, this, that, and the other, but of all the people who were faces that they could boo, I could understand, to be honest, I could understand Cody in Chicago getting booed a little bit at the minute. Sami Zayn's just, I don't know, it was just really, really odd. I mean, obviously he's a good guy character and stuff, and he's had a lot of wins recently, but it's not like he's been absolutely knocking it out of the park. It's just, I don't know about upsetting, but I found it a bit odd, and it kind of took me out of the match a little bit, I'd say, because, like, I don't know if I was getting annoyed, but it was like the crowd literally would not let go of Sammy. And it was just like, yeah, I know you're trying to be faux ironic and stuff, but it's kind of getting to the stage. It's not really ironic. It's more annoying than ironic. Again, you can boo for whoever you want to. Look, I used to, before Stone Cold actually turned babyface back in the day, I was actually cheering off when he was still a heel and people were booing him. Good couple of months before what happened with Bret Hart and stuff. I used to cheer for Punk when he was a heel. I've cheered for Kevin Owens when he was a heel. Each to their own at the end of the day. Obviously, NWO as well. They were the original cool heels. Even further back, Four Horsemen. Um, yeah, it's each their own. But the response that Zayn got, I don't want to keep going on about it, but it was really, really like, I don't know, stop being a bunch of assholes, basically. But I don't know, it was just really, really odd. Sorry, I am going to look at the comments in a minute, but I'm just going to get this out of my head just so it's out of my brain. The match was excellent. I thought it was really, really good. The one thing I've written on my notes here, I loved the way that Cena kept using finishers from his feuds back in the day. So he had an attempted RKO, spear, which was obviously Edge. There was, what was the other one now that he used? I can't remember, but there was like two of, oh, the GTS, obviously, them being in Chicago. I really, really loved all that. It was just the way it was done was really well done. Sami Zayn's selling was brilliant. It was a fantastic match. And then basically all of a sudden, that was my attempt at doing Brock Lesnar's theme music, which was rubbish. Brock comes out, full cowboy hat, looking like he's eaten several people, jacked as you know what. Basically comes in, batters Cena all over the shop, a couple of F5s, F5 Sammy as well. Smackdown goes off for a little bit, and then all of a sudden, Brock walks through the back of the curtain, and they actually had them filming from gorilla position, and he was basically saying, "Cena, I'll see you at WrestlePalooza," and then he said something rhyming with "you rich," and we'll just leave it at that. So yeah, the long and short is we're getting John Cena versus Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza, which is this time in 2 weeks, I think. I mean, this obviously Wrestling Saturday is going to be awesome because AEW All Out is on, and obviously WWE have kind of done a bit of counter programming where they were trying to have it at the same time, and again AEW have just gone, well, fine, we'll just have our pay-per-view 6 hours before, so whatever. But the good news is, if you're a fan like me who just likes pro wrestling, you get to see All Out. There'll be like, I don't know, half an hour's break, and then WrestlePalooza will be on Netflix, so that's fine with me, absolutely fine. And obviously AEW's on Amazon, I think, and you can order it for like, I don't know, 15, 20 quid, whatever it is. So I'm off that, and I'm basically just, yeah, it's going to be good. So, yeah, so that was the opening. What else? Then Becky Lynch turned up. They showed her turning up, and obviously they referenced the fact that Phil CM Punk Brooks was already there. Crowd was booing Bex. She got absolutely slaughtered. Now, the only thing I'd say about SmackDown, just before I look at the comments, was it had a fantastic opening and a really hot ending. Looking back in retrospect, the middle of the show wasn't. Excuse me. If you take away the first 25, 30 minutes, so the promo and then the Zayn and Cena match, and if you took away the last 20, 25 minutes and Bex, I'm not sure if I would be as excited as I am. It wasn't absolutely brilliant, and I'll get onto that in a minute. But first, let me just read your guys' comments, because I know people have been sending comments and stuff. Let me have a look. Blaine Johnson said hi. Hi, Blaine, you alright? Dusty Boy said hi. Hello, Dusty Boy. Udot said hi. Hello, Udot. Thanks for joining. Perito Contrage, treble 7, hi. Hello, how you doing? Or what will you do with 1 billion? I'd go to the pub for a very long time, lad. Damien Castillo, hi Damien, you've been on before, haven't you? Did you see the video online of John Cena punching a punching glove and yelling out loud, "I've been pretending punching people for 25 years"? No, can't say I did. Yeah. Yeah. Guys, like I said, I've had to do this several times before, so I'm not answering questions like that. This is a wrestling podcast, and there are plenty of news outlets that you can go to, but I don't want to be involved, thank you. So yeah. After that, you had Damian Priest versus Aleister Black. I just thought the match was really. I've got to be honest, I didn't like it at all. I didn't like the Aleister Black thing of attacking Damian Priest, and it just seems like Aleister Black has beaten. I mean, I might be wrong on this, but I think Aleister's beaten him like, what was it, 2, 3, 4 times now? I don't know if it's 2 or 3 times. That he just seems to get the upper hand every single time. Look, I think the time for Damian Priest to try something new has arrived. It's getting to the point where he really is in a rut now. And if you're all being honest, he's been in a rut since he left Monday Night Raw, because obviously he was with Rhea Ripley. He was doing fantastic with the Terror Twin stuff. Then they moved Rhea and Damien, and in retrospect, I don't think, looking back, it was the best idea, because you could still have Rhea going after the Women's World Championship, but that doesn't mean that she couldn't have been with Damien. I thought they worked really, really well together. Excuse me. And I really enjoyed the work. Even when they split Damien away from Rhea, he was still on Raw and he was fighting the Judgment Day. And then they parachuted him into SmackDown. And it's just, I don't know, it's just all that momentum he had is just completely and utterly gone. Hi, Johnny. You're all right, lad? Love you too, mate. It's just, yeah, the whole momentum that they had with Damien, it's just completely disappeared, to the point where people aren't. I don't want to say people aren't bothered, because I don't want to be disrespectful of Priest, because I actually do really like Priest. In my opinion, I would turn him heel and I'd have him join a group. And I've said this before. Could you put him back with the Judgment Day? with his ties to Rhea, I don't know, but they definitely need to do something with it. I mean, could he even go with the Vision? Because I've said that the Vision need, in my opinion, they need one more to make it 5, and then obviously you've got Bex as the women's champion, then you've got Heyman, and I think that's just about the right time. Could Damian Priest work with the Vision? I don't know. I wouldn't have him anywhere near Solo Sikoa or his group, because it's just um, yeah, that group is basically toxic. So I don't know if Damien can start his own stay, but whatever the thing is, he needs to do something and turn heel as quickly as humanly possible, because it's just not working for him. As Black, outstanding pro wrestler, I absolutely love him. Again, I don't think this feud has helped Alistair. I would have kept Alistair face, to be honest, because I'm usually like, turn him heel. But in this case, I was kind of really surprised that they did it, because Alistair had only just started back with WWE, and I don't think that's helped at all. I could have understood if he turned heel, say at Survivor Series or something like that, having been in the company for 6-7 months, but it was too soon for me, and I just think Alistair's not wasting away, but the Priest Alistair thing needs to come to an end very, very quickly, and I don't know who I program Alistair Black with at the moment on SmackDown. Perhaps you can do something with him in LA Knight. That would give those two something to do. I don't know if you could have something to do with the Usos, maybe the Wyatts, maybe with the whole supernatural thing. I don't know, but those two need to be separated as quickly as possible, in my opinion. There was Alistair Black won with a black mask, by the way. That's how disinterested I was in the whole match, basically. There was a Worlds Collide promo. Actually, I don't know if you guys saw it. That looks really good, you know. That does look really, really good, because I can't remember a lot of the matches, but I mean, my 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 guy Mr. Iguana is on, so I'm definitely watching. I'm sorry, but I really like Mr. Iguana. I think he's absolutely, that spinning thing he does where he's got his hands by his side is just like, how the hell does that bloke do how does he do that? So yeah, I'm definitely going to watch that, I think. Then there was a bit of a random pre-tape segment, which was sponsored by some random energy drink with Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre. Again, I was kind of like, I don't know what this is meant to be. And then I had a preview of next week's SmackDown. I mean, they've done Randy and Drew quite. I've got to be honest, I'm not massively excited about that at all. The WrestlePalooza one, for reasons I'll get onto, actually I am kind of excited, except, I'm sorry, but that name, feel free to disagree with me in the comments, that name sucks. It is dreadful. I mean, WrestlePalooza, seriously? I mean, which genius of the sky came up with that? I'm honestly, it is cringe beyond words, so they need to rename that. Yeah, there was a promo with Tiffany Stratton, which didn't sound like she was dragging her nails across a chalkboard, at least this week. Again, she's another one. It's not me being disparaging or rude. I actually do like Stratton. I think she could be absolute money for the next few years, but she's a heel. I can see it in my love. I wouldn't say there's no redeeming qualities to her, but she's a heel. It's as simple as that. Just the way she carries herself, her cadence, her movements in the ring, what she thinks of herself. She is a heel. Now, in real life, she seems like a nice enough girl, and it's nothing to do with her personality or looks or whatever else. But Tiffany Stratton is a heel and needs to be a heel, in my opinion. So I think they need to turn her as quick. I mean, to be honest, at the minute, I think that's a slight problem with WWE. There's quite a few like your Priests, Blacks, Stratton, Cargill, other people, I don't know, I don't know, Jimmy Uso, for example, because they've had a chance to turn him heel. There's quite a few that I think are on the babyface side that should be on the heel side, but I don't know, I'm just a grumpy old man, maybe it's me. After that, yes, Julia versus Meechin. how does one put this? That match was terrible. And that's not me looking for shock value or anything like that. I watched the match as a fan. Um, I like both ladies, but the match was terrible. It was awful. And to be honest, it's nothing really to do with Julia Meaching, but Meaching needs to. I would go as far as to say go back to NXT or go to a developmental, but she needs to be taken off TV for a couple of weeks. They need to repackage her or do something with her because she's another really good talent who is going to get lost because there's just nothing about her at the minute for me that I find exciting. I think she's athletic. I think she's got a real good upside to her. She's got a good look, kicks, the works. She could be really, really good, but again, she has nothing. Basically, it's the same sort of thing with Selena Vega. There's two really talented women in those two wrestlers, but there's just nothing at the minute with them. The Julia thing with, and I've temporarily forgotten her name. If someone could remind me in the comments, that would be really useful. No, it's completely gone. But basically, her lawyer, assistant, manager person, whoever put that gimmick with Julia, with the momentum she had, needs to be. I won't go as far as fired, but they need to have a serious word with themselves because I don't understand why on earth they put Julia with that sort of gimmick. It hasn't helped her. She's not a wrestler that looks like that she needs help. She just looks like an arse kicker, at least in the women's division. And Kiana James, that's it, got it. I mean, the gimmick with Kiana James as well. Again, it's nothing to do with looks or anything like that, and this, that, and the other. They just make her look really stupid. I mean, Kiana James is a fully trained professional wrestler, and she just looks like. I don't even know. I mean, she's meant to be a solicitor, as we say in England. She looks like a Kardashian. I mean, I don't know if that's what the gimmick is meant to be, but if you're gonna have her be a lawyer, then dress her like a lawyer, basically, like long back trousers, whatever female lawyers would wear, like black coat, like white shirt, maybe a tie or something like that, hair like completely straight back, and this, that, and the other. She just looks like she's an extra for the Kardashian minute, and I just think it's a complete waste of both women's talents. So, for me, this whole Michin, Selena Vega, and Julia thing needs to stop. Julia needs to go and have a feud with someone who is far up the card. Rhea Ripley, something on. I'm not saying it should be Rhea Ripley, but Julia is a talent, and they are wasting her with nonsense at the minute. And like I said, I think Selena, Michi. I mean, there's a storyline right there. You could have them saying call them the Outcasts, but you could maybe put those two together and do something with them. I don't know. Call them the Gamer Girls because they're both into like anime and I don't know. I'm not a creative writer for WWE, but like, there's so many ideas that are floating out there. But I just, yeah, it was just really weird. There was this weird segment next with Alexa and Charlotte where the power of friendship is going to make Charlotte better, and she was using the Lily doll to make Charlotte's foot better, and it was just yeah, it was really, 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 really strange. The WrestlePalooza thing, by the way, so obviously they've announced Cena versus Lesnar. Obviously, they've said that AJ Lee is going to be there. Now, whether I'm assuming that's going to be AJ Lee and Seth versus CM Punk and try again. Bex and Seth Rollins versus AJ Lee and CM Punk. One would assume is going to be the match. I have absolutely no idea because I don't think that, I don't know if they have confirmed it. Maybe they have. I've been out today, so I don't know if it's been confirmed. But yeah, I mean, obviously they want to make a Smash WrestlePalooza thing because the deal they've got with ESPN. Fortunately, I feel sorry for all you Americans who are watching it. Fortunately, us in Europe and England get to watch it for, well, not for free, because obviously you've got to pay for your Netflix subscription, but we get to watch it for free. When it was first announced, and they were like, yeah, ESPN subscription, I was just like, I'm sorry, I'm not paying extra to watch I don't know, home bargains WrestleMania, basically. And I was just like, no, that is not happening. So at least it is on Netflix. By the way, because it's on Netflix, I will be covering that live in a couple of weeks. So I'll be doing a live reaction show, like I'm doing now as well for that. How that impacts Smackdown show, I will probably just cover that in the WrestlePalooza. I'll think of something. Um, yeah, I just make all this stuff up on the fly. So I will think of something. And like I said, I'm going to try and watch AW All In as well. So yeah, let me just have a look at the comments. Thank you, Johnny. Sawana Jenkins, I enjoy AJ Lee, but Brock, no, he needs to never come back. Yeah. Yeah, I know, Swan, probably what you're actually making reference to, or if you are making reference to the thing that I think you're making reference to, maybe you're not, I don't know. But obviously, everyone's got to make their own decision on Brock's future participation, and I will leave that where it lies. Would be iconic send off. Think of old school Cena with his metal chain, which he hit Brock with. I would like to see him do old school Cena as well, Johnny, to be honest. The thing that I talked about earlier, I don't know if you guys saw me short that I did for Brock. My one concern with this is Cena's got 8 dates left now. I mean, we are into the literally like the last 12 weeks, and he's got 8 days to cover 12, and he's going to have I think it's a month's absence between, what is it, mid-October to mid-November. I would prefer if the whole ending was not Brock Lesnar versus John Cena for the 8 dates. I would like ideally from my point of view for that to be finished up in 4, and then maybe Cena he's still got a chance to wrestle, I don't know, Roman on a Monday Night Raw. Braun, I mean, I would have loved to have seen Braun Breaker, but I think it's probably too late for that now, because you would be, well, why would Seth Rollins not want to try and beat John Cena before he retires? I mean, maybe they could do something with Seth, I don't know. I mean, he's not touched. Has he touched? Well, he was involved in the Seth Rollins, not the cash in, the thing that happened in Saudi Arabia. So they have kind of had an interaction, but not really. Obviously, you've still got Roman. I think it's probably a bit too early for Bronson Reed. Braun Breaker I would definitely like, and again, I know this is now very, very unlikely, but just because he was interviewed about it and him and Cena seemed to hit it off quite a bit, and just because it would blow the internet's mind, I would love Joe Hendry to just have, it doesn't have to be a 5-star classic, just 10-minute match with John Cena would be absolutely amazing. Other than that, I think the Brock Lesnar situation is like when they were trying to find candidates to beat The Undertaker and people were complaining. I think it was Vince back in the day. He was just like, well, who's more qualified to beat The Undertaker than Brock Lesnar? And you actually think about it and you're like, yeah, I mean, not that I would have ever ended Taker's streak personally, which, by the way, I still think is a ludicrous decision, but that's just me. But who else it could have been, I don't know. I mean, Jacob Fatu was so hot about 4 months ago. I was actually arguing for Jacob Fatu to be the one who basically even beat Cena on his last night. I mean, obviously you can't do that now because his momentum's stalled, because this wretched storyline he's in with Solo Sikoa. That's another thing that needs to end as quickly as humanly possible, in my opinion. But yeah, I suppose if Cena and Brock was to take up the last 8 dates, I suppose I could just about live with it. But I mean, I don't know if they'll do all 8 days. I hope it's just like maybe 4 or 5 options of Brock, and then you can do something with the last 3 or 4 days. But what they've got planned, who knows? I mean, obviously you've still got The Rock. Maybe he's the one at the end who pins Cena, and there's some sort of reference to him turning heel, and he says, "I just destroyed your legacy," or something like that. I don't know, but yeah, we'll have to wait and see. Undertaker versus Lesnar would be a send off for him. Yeah. Joel. Bob. Okay. AJ Lee has come back finally, folks. Yes, I was delighted. S-Pref as well. Absolutely delighted. Sarah Jolene. Not that I'm aware of, no. Best thing about AJ Lee's was. You nearly had me there. I'm not reading that way. This is still about, so I'm definitely not reading that and having seen that comment. UK man. Hi Sarah, how you doing? AJ is only back for a short time. Hopefully she didn't injure a broken neck. So broken April, never had surgery. I hope not. I don't think she's back full time because obviously she's got a production company and everything that she's trying to do with film scripts and stuff. So I don't think she'll be back for a long time. AJ Lee, for those who don't know, it's not like she's been at home making Phil's dinner for her. She's a super busy young lady. Books, podcasts, like film scripts and stuff. I don't think she would actually have time to go back on the road with WWE full time. Maybe she comes in for special appearances. I don't know. Maybe turns around to management. Maybe she manages. I can't think. Definitely not Julia. The last thing she needs is another manager. I would, if AJ Lee, by the way, if she's going to have a few matches, I don't know what anyone else thinks about this, but before she does go again, AJ Lee needs to wrestle Rhea Ripley. Like that has to happen. There is no way you can bring AJ Lee back and not have those two wrestle. I mean, I love the fact she's wrestling Bex. That'll be really good. Charlotte would be fun. I would really like AJ Lee. I would really like AJ Lee to wrestle Natty. And I'm saying Natty because I'm not saying Talia. And those of you who watch the Independents and stuff will know what I'm on about. Not Natalia. She needs to wrestle Natty, and Natty needs to come to the WWE. I'll let those of you who have no idea what I'm on about do a little bit of research online. But yeah, Natty Neidhart needs to come to the WWE and Natalia needs to be retired. But yeah, talk amongst yourselves. Anyway, so we get to the last segment. And basically, it's Seth Rollins comes out and like Chicago is absolutely mental. They booed that man out of the building. They were calling him all sorts. I don't know if anyone caught it, but when Rollins comes out because he was in the skybox, there was this young man next to him who was basically a promo on Seth right next to him and telling him off and this, that, and the other. And I'm sure I caught his father or something like that trying to like pull him back. He wasn't going to do anything, but he was proper giving it to Seth. So whoever that young man was, fair play to you. That was really cool. So Seth cuts a promo on Chicago, basically says this is the last time CM Punk here, yada blah blah blah. 101, and then he introduces his beautiful, hot Irish wife, and it's just like, I mean, just when you thought you couldn't despise the bloke more, he then reminds you he's married to Becky Lynch. So fair play to Seth for generating heat, because there are a lot of blokes who were just like, you are a bloody swine, basically. But yeah, so he introduces Bex, who I'm sorry, I love Becky Lynch. I think is like a chicken something heel. I think she's done absolutely brilliant the last few weeks. I actually do like the thought of her in the Vision. Like I said, for me, for Vision, I'd like one more member. I don't know if that's just me, but I kind of like Bex, Heyman, the two tags, Seth, and then maybe I don't know, like a big man. I know they've already got two big blokes, but like that's kind of why I was maybe suggesting Damian Priest. I mean, I don't know whether that would even work, to be honest, but I just would like them to have the one more member. Yeah, so Bex comes out. like this chorus of boos, basically insulted all the teams in Chicago, the usual heel stuff. Punk comes out, Bex is like embarrassed, etc., etc., and then she starts slapping Phil again. And I was watching this with my missus. We literally only finished watching SmackDown about 2 hours ago, and I don't know what this thing of I really do not know what this thing of Becky Lynch is doing, where she's nuzzling her head into people's chest. But honestly, we both watched and we were in absolute hysterics. We were just like, Bex, what are you doing, love? You just look like a complete weirdo. But and then obviously Phil leaves the ring and then introduces his own really nice wife as well, otherwise known as the great AJ Lee. I popped massively, like I said, in about 2011, 12, when Punk was doing Summer of Punk, or maybe just before and after that. AJ Lee was the most hottest thing in wrestling. I thought she was brilliant. I absolutely loved the promos. I just loved the way that she was so different from not a lot of the other women that were there. Just the way she dressed, her moveset, and honestly, I absolutely love AJ Lee. I've read her book, which name temporarily escapes me. I don't know if anyone's read it. My oh god, what is it now? My anxiety is my superpower. Is it my superpower is something? It references stuff that she's had ongoing with mental health and stuff, and she has talked about that in a book. And as someone who's had a bit of a kind of a history with that on the odd occasion, do you know what? Fair play to her. It was really nice to read something that was for people like, I don't know, me and AJ and stuff. But yeah, I absolutely, basically, I can't speak highly enough of her. I absolutely love her. So to the younger fans who don't know who April is, honestly, just prepare yourself. She's fantastic. I think she's an absolutely fantastic woman. But she beat the living crap out of Becky Lynch, basically. The only slight complaint is I should have beaten the crap out of Becky Lynch. I'm not sure about Bex being like afraid of her, fine, but like that afraid of her, it was like 10 Rhea Ripleys had come wandering in and were surrounding Becky Lynch. And it was like I don't know if I'm not overselling, but it was just a tiny bit too much from Bex, in my opinion. Also, as well, little side note, I get Seth Rollins is meant to be a chicken something heel, but dude, that's your wife. And Punk's kind of stood over it. I mean, even if you were a heel at some point, you would just be like, dude, what do you think you're doing standing over my missus? Maybe that, I don't know, maybe that's just me, I don't know. But I kind of get it, but yeah, they're just minor complaints. But I thought it was absolutely brilliant. And then AJ and Punk had the moment in the ring. I think they did some stuff after SmackDown went off the air as well, with Punk and AJ. But yeah, I was way more excited about that than Brock Lesnar, to be honest. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. So going forward, presumably now it's going to be, as I say, Punk and AJ versus Seth and Bex, unless they're going to split, and maybe it'll be CM Punk and Seth Rollins, which I really hope not, because it's too much now. And maybe it'll be AJ Lee versus Bex one-on-one, or maybe it'll be the two as a twist in both women's corner. I honestly don't know, but yeah, of that WrestlePalooza begrudgingly is starting to look quite exciting. I mean, I don't know if anything else has been announced, but you'd have to imagine Rhea Ripley has got to be on that, because I don't think she's been on the last couple of cards, to be honest. So Rhea's got to be on it. Io Sky and Stephanie Vakia, I think, are on it. I'll have to put a note to have a look at that. Sorry, I do random stuff like this when I'm online. Versus Io Sky. I think it is Io Sky versus Stephanie Vakia, and I'm fairly sure it is WrestlePalooza. That card at the minute, if you could add a Rhea and maybe I don't know, Jacob Fatu or something like that in a match, could be actually really, really good. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to that, because I watch AEW as well as WWE. I watch any wrestling that's on. And I think AEW starts at 6, and then WrestlePalooza starts at 11 UK time, 12. So there's maybe like I don't know, like an hour's difference or something like that. But yeah, if I can swing it with my beloved who's asleep upstairs, I'm just going to ask if I can watch wrestling the entire day because it does look very very cool. But yeah, that's about it, folks, for this first edition of a very late Smackdown. Like I said, for those of you who have joined late, so the reason that I'm doing this on a Saturday night as opposed to directly after Smackdown is I would end up having about an hour and a half sleep if I did an instant reaction to Smackdown because I have a hyperactive child who gets up at 6:30 in the morning, leaving me with an hour's and a half sleep on a Saturday. And I really don't fancy doing that. However, if I do it on a Saturday night, they've both gone to bed and I can just do it in peace and quiet. So that's kind of why you're getting this show. So, like I said, hopefully I will be back this time next week. People seem to have liked it and got into it. So thank you everyone for watching. It was really cool. I'm just trying to think the next time I will be with you guys will be. When is the next time I'm going to be with you? Oh, yeah. So Monday, I'm gonna be. So obviously, you got most of the subscribers will know that I support this football team. I'm gonna be on Monday afternoon slash morning for like a beat the international break blues Liverpool podcast because this is kind of why I'm doing this on Saturday as well because it distracts me. This, if you're a football fan, you know what I'm on about. But this international break sucks. It's like we get the Premier League back, and then I mean I watched a little bit of England earlier, and you remember I said that I was not keen on the Michin and Julia match. I would rather watch that match 40 times than watch 10 minutes of what England produced today. It was garbage, dreadful. Um, yeah, so I don't like international breaks apart from Ghana. Come on, Ghana. Um, but yeah, I will be back on Monday doing something with Liverpool. If not, it will be the Tuesday, something like that. The next time I'll be back with you for wrestling will be Monday Night Raw. So for the next 7 weeks, I think 6, I'll be doing a reaction podcast. Well, not well. It is kind of a podcast as well because a lot of these I put on YouTube sounds, so you can enjoy it in podcast form or videos or live or whatever it is you want to do. Not a problem. But yeah, for the next 5 weeks, definitely I will be doing Monday Night Raw reaction shows. So they'll start usually about 3:30 in the morning, give or take. And yeah, we'll go from there. So yeah, I think that means I'm on twice Monday, so maybe Monday afternoon and the early hours of Tuesday, I think. Also, those of you that are AEWs, I'll be on usually on Thursday mornings at about somewhere between 8:30 and 9 o'clock with AEW wrap up. People seem to be really enjoying that at the moment. So if you want to check that out, that's on Thursday. If you want to just if you want to see what I do, let me have a look. Chevy 5 Speed. Hi Chevy, how you doing? You alright? And TNT Jose 5HHGG. Today my birthday. Uh, George or Jorge. Sorry if my pronunciation is poorly. Happy birthday. Hope you have a good one, pal. Yeah, I think that's more or less it, folks. So basically, to recap, SmackDown was really good. Like I said, I'll be back on with a Liverpool sort of live stream on Monday afternoon. I'll be back at early hours Tuesday morning with Monday Night Raw reaction. I'll be on Thursday for AW Dynamite early morning reaction, probably about 8 or 9. I'll be doing this again next Saturday night, and also as well, the Mighty Reds Liverpool are playing Burnley on a week on Sunday. So yeah, this time next week, but tomorrow. I'm due to go and watch that with someone who may well be watching. Hello. And also probably a few of the lads at a local public house. So I'm aiming to do a live reaction, but we shall see how the day plays out and how much any kind of victory, if there is a victory, is celebrated. If you follow my drift, if it's celebrated a tad too well, the reaction will be on some. It will be on Monday, is what I'm getting at basically. So that one I can't confirm at the minute, but just obviously bear with us. And then yeah, yeah, that's basically everything coming up. So that schedule I'm going to keep for like the next 4 or 5 weeks. So AW Dynamite, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown, and anything to do with Liverpool. Basically, are going to be the live shows going forward. In terms of stuff that I've just done, if you subscribe to me, obviously you'll know this, but I've recently just been to, what have I been to wrestling wise? I've been to UK Pro Rev, which is a wrestling show in, sorry, wrestling promotion, excuse me, in England. Had a fantastic time there at Sheffield. That was about a month and a half ago, I think. There's loads of stuff on my playlist for that. There is also footage for Forbidden Door, which I've just seen at the O2 Arena, which was, crikey, that was 3 weeks ago now, I think. Was it 3 weeks ago? 24th. 2 weeks ago, I think. Yeah. So AEW Forbidden Door. There's loads of footage on from that. So there's the Will Ospreay match, Omega, and so forth. And then me and my son went to WWE Leeds. Went about a week and a half ago. So again, there's loads of footage on my channel on that. So wrestling wise, I've got the playlist is called Wrestling. So everything on my channel is Geek Boy does something or other. So Geek Boy does comics, Geek Boy does horror, Geek Boy does Liverpool FC, Geek Boy does wrestling, and there's a few, Geek Boy does Pride, whatever. There's a load of stuff that I do, and there's a couple of podcasts that I do. I cover movies whenever there is a. That's not a regular thing, but that's whenever I find something interesting. By the way, did anyone see the 28 years later Bone Temple trailer? Wow. I've already put that on as a live discussion that I'm going to do in January, because I think it's out on January the 6th. I love the 28 years later franchise. I've been watching it for like literally 20 years, obviously, since it first came out. I absolutely love it. So I've just done a couple of shorts and reactions to that trailer if anyone wants to check it out. But yeah, love my horror movies as well. So there's all sorts on the channel that you can check out. And yeah, just wanted to say as well, while I'm on, thank you again to all subscribers who have, honestly, this summer, we're at the stage now where we've literally doubled the audience in the space of like a summer from what it was for almost 3 years. It's been insane, the reaction that we've had, and just thanks everyone for getting behind the channel. I obviously really appreciate it. I really appreciate you guys, especially the ones that have stood by me when I've done stupid things like miss my start time for live shows and filmed goals upside down and so on and so forth. But yeah, just honestly, just thanks everyone for bearing with me. It's been, obviously, I've enjoyed this summer so much. It's been absolutely fantastic. And yeah, we press on. In terms of stuff coming up, like I said, I'll be covering WrestlePalooza, and hopefully AEW All In on the same day, but I will need to get a permission slip from the person upstairs. Not God, the female God who lives in my house, basically. Hopefully she'll say yes. In terms of what's coming up soon, in October, I'm going to do something which makes me cringe, called Geekoween. So anyone who's been watching me will know that I just called it Geek Boy Summer for all the stuff I've been doing. And in October, I'm going to be doing a load of stuff like going to horror conventions. There's a Gothica Day in Leeds Alternative Market. If you're from Leeds, you'll know I'm about Kirkgate Market, which I'll be live streaming and doing videos from. There's Whole Horror Con. There's Leeds Light Night that I'm going to try and do. There's Leeds Comic Con, which I might now not be able to do. Thank you very much to my brother. He knows exactly what I'm on about. And also I'm going to Barnsley Comic Con. While I'm at Barnsley, I'm also going to go to Oakwell, which is Barnsley's stadium, so I'm going to try and do some sort of live stream of that. Also, as well, just to let you guys know, instead of Leeds Comic Con, I'm going to go to Sheffield Comic Con, which is at the Magna Science Centre. I think it is. It's just outside of Rotherham, somewhere in London. So it's kind of in the border between Rotherham and Sheff, and Meadowhall. So I'm going to have like a bit of a South Yorkshire day that day. So I'm going to go to Sheffield Comic Con, do some filming there. I'm going to try and then to Sheffield United. I can't promise that if I can do so. I'm going to do like a look at old school football grounds and stuff. So I'll try and see if I can get Sheffield. And because Meadowhall is round the corner, which is a massive shopping centre, if you don't know, I'm going to try and get there and go to some geeky comic book shops, some goth shops, some like new metal-y type shops. I really like those belts, you know, the studded belts that people used to wear back in the day when I had my whole rock phase. So yeah, I'm going to try and get some stuff like that as well. So yeah, that's basically everything coming up. Oh, I'm also going to be watching Predator Badlands, and I'm going to try and do like a live reaction to that as well. So Predator comes out in about 7 weeks or something like that. Also, this is a bit random, so I come up with random stuff like this. Also, I don't know if you can let me know in the comments if you have done, because the video will be out tomorrow of this live feed now. But I don't know if anyone's seen Weapons, the film Weapons. I'm gonna try and see that on Monday, hopefully, after I've done my Liverpool podcast. Yeah, because it just looks insane, that film, and I've not had a chance to go and see it just yet, and my missus has now just said, I don't want to see it, I'm not that bothered, you can go and see it on your own, and I know this is a horrendously bad idea, because it does look quite scary, but no doubt I will do the stupid bloke thing and say, oh, it's only a horror film, I'll be alright, love, blah, 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 and guaranteed I will be cowering in her lap. About 3 hours later saying it's really scary and stuff, but yeah, I'll probably do something about that as well, so I might do some shorts or whatever. But yeah, like I said, thank you everyone for watching. So overall thoughts on Smackdown, like I said, I really enjoyed the start and I absolutely loved the end. The middle bit of it, just to go back with what I was saying, I think WWE has I wouldn't say a problem as such, because obviously you are into the post-Rumble, Mania, SummerSlam sort of exciting 6 months, and we're in like not a dead zone, because obviously you've got that WrestlePalooza thing now, and AEW in New Japan and TNA, and it's kind of changing now a little bit, but you've still got that sort of month where it's like, yeah, like the basketball's restarting, you've got the NFL restarting, you've got all the shows in America coming back after the fall, as the Americans would say. And this is always the point where you're like, you can tell a drop off of quality, and I just look at some of those matches that we've had. Like I said, I don't want to keep going on about the Julia Meaching match. Was whoever was the agent for that needs to have a severe word. It's no offence to both women, because they know they tried the hardest, but they literally got given about 3 or 4 minutes. I mean, what are they meant to do with that? The Damien Priest, Aleister Black was, in my opinion, not much better. And there was some really key promos as well. So, yeah, overall, fantastic start to it, fantastic end, but the middle of SmackDown was not great. So I suppose if I'm giving it a grade, I would probably give it a B minus, just based on how hot and how hot it started and how hot it ended. Like I said, folks, that's pretty it for me. I don't think I've got any other announcements that are coming up. Actually, no, I tell a lie. There is something that may or may not be happening next Friday. So Obviously, I've got a lot of different things that I do on this channel, and I've never done anything music related before. However, I might be helping out an acquaintance, shall we say, and long short, there may actually be some live streamed music channel this time next week. So if you like your electronica 80s synth sort of stuff, you might be in for something next Friday, but I can't confirm until I've spoken to a certain person whose birthday it is. Happy birthday, you know who you are, and you need to text me and let me know what I'm doing. So yeah, that's coming up possibly next Friday as well. But as I say, I will be back with you guys on Monday, I think, for a Liverpool live show. Then I'm going to come back for Monday Night Raw, early hours of Tuesday morning. So in America, that'll be whatever time it is over there, like 10 o'clock at night. I will be doing AEW Dynamite early hours Thursday morning, so about 7, 8 o'clock in the morning. And then I'll be back this time next week for another Smackdown show. So yeah, cool, nice one. Yeah, hope everyone enjoyed. Hope you have a fantastic Saturday night, all of you. Thanks for watching me. It's been really cool, and I'll see you all soon. And yes, AJ Lee is back. All is right with the world. See you guys later. Bye bye.